Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to yet another episode of our Local to Global. I believe we're actually now on episode, I want to say 9. It's going to be embarrassing if I'm wrong, but episode 9. So we're trucking away here. Hopefully, I can keep going with the daily uploads. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying playing, learning, I guess, as well, which is all, I guess, is the main reason we play games, really, to get better. And that's only what's going to happen from now till the end of the series, I guess. Hangman will leave off the show, as we're doing at the moment. Generic venue booking team. We, of course, added the historian last episode, so we're getting even more. What do we have? A creative finish for Davis Wayne Newton, which is a bit of a gamble, so we'll maybe use that this episode because I have a bit of a forefront. Basically, every show I have like a slight idea, usually revolving around the storyline of what I want to do, and then I kind of wing the rest of it. Which, I mean, at this stage in the game is pretty fair, I would say. Hopefully, it's pretty like enjoyable to watch. I guess you guys get an insight how the booking works. But 164 creative energy, so we do not need a creative finish because I'm leaving the I'm using the architect on this show coming up, but he's not going to be fighting. As we all know, of course, from the start of this year, the architect era has now begun, and he's a little bit of a egomaniac in some ways, very tactical approach to things. But we will try for, let's go for 2 character ideas. A surefire hit, that's good. Oh wait, I think it said it was for Dr. Frankenstein, which is actually good because I think he's irritated. He was one of the few, so I essentially would have used it on him anyway. Legally to succeed and can only be applied to mutant. I swear he's getting all of these and they're not helping him at all. Just for the sake of that, we have 84 points. I'm going to do one more. A safe bet, no restrictions, right? Okay. Let's see what's going on with the locker room. Marco was brought before the wrestlers' court again, moaning about stuff all the time and bumming everyone out. That's a bit surprising because he has a quiet personality. Oh, he's currently annoyed? Wait, what? Have I forgot about something I've done? Why is he annoyed? That's like... Okay, that has a small positive impact again. I need to double check that. I may have to use the character ID on him. Let's just do Inspire since it's there as the option. Even though it's not necessarily going to be a huge show, but whenever we get the opportunity right now to use Inspire, we might as well take it. Right, let me just have a quick peek here at what's actually going on. So you're irritated, refused the full pay rise, makes sense. You're irritated at being ribbed, of course, that's right. You're annoyed. Oh, a poor new gimmick. Ah, right. I mean, yeah, because it's awful. It's like, I think that's awful's the worst, yeah. Let's go, because I don't necessarily need to keep you, but I don't really want to get rid of you. So let's give him the safe bet. Yes. Was a success. He's now pleased. That's even better. And then, of course, Mutant has one, which is likely to succeed. Hopefully, it doesn't fail because his morale issues are at the highest of everyone. And I obviously mentioned last episode we'll focus a bit more on Blue Dragon and Mutant to try and win them over, essentially. Okay, that was a success. It's only a matter of time before one of these ideas fails. But we're doing now. He's white hot momentum, but he's still annoyed. So his momentum is literally higher than almost anyone, apart from the architect maybe. But he's still just, yeah, he's annoyed. Surefire hit for the doctor, so we don't have to worry about that. It is a success, and he is now normal, so that's good. We fixed 2 of our morale issues there. And with Blue Dragon only being irritated, I'm feeling confident one character idea will win him over. But for Mutant, he's actually not being annoying recently in terms of the backstage. He's not really causing issues. Like it seemed like he was about to start doing it when he turned up late and stuff. And he's coming to me with like ideas for himself backstage, even though I think it was 2 angle ideas and they both sucked, and we used them both kind of out of spite for the fact he's still being a bit of a baby. But it will be a full year in April, since we, of course, called him out, which is, I get it. I get why he's annoyed. It makes sense. Like, it's quite a big thing to fail on. It's like quite a big backfire. But we'll see if maybe after a year the penalties of it are diminished in a sense. But we're going to start the show with the main man himself, the architect intro. But on his intro, he also leaves we'll just say arena, but we're not really in an arena, are we? We're more so in like someone's backyard. It's in the ring angle live, the architect, and essentially he comes out. The crowd, of course, one sec. Sorry about that, just taking a little drink. Yeah, the crowd, of course, hyped up. He's pretty good on the mic and he's got good momentum and stuff right now. He's one of the most over guys. But he eventually says, you know, his match last month, not even last week, last month against Blue Dragon, you know, it's really tired him out and he thinks he needs a break, so he's not going to be on the show tonight. He was told by the general manager he would, of course, be defending his belt. But, you know, he just can't tonight. He's just, he's not feeling up to it and he just leaves. He just leaves on his own accord. He just puts down the mic and after, you know, his 5 minutes segment, basically riling up the crowd essentially. He's not really hyping them up, being a classic heel, you know, just someone who's very annoying. And he essentially just leaves. He just gets out the ring, gets in his like truck or whatever, in his van, in his car, whatever it would be, and he just leaves. He's just gone straight away. And that will open up our show, which then means for our main event we'll have Davis. We can use his creative finish. Now, ideally, I could have him fight Papa Swole, but I want to try and book Papa Swole fairly well here. So but I also don't really want him to be the one to beat Davis right now. Or clean, because I know Papa Swole wouldn't really necessarily cheat. I don't really like to do that with my faces. It's a bit, kind of ruins the immersion. So I think we are going to do them against each other. But we'll do 15 minutes here. Davis Wayne Newton to win. It's going to be an open match. It's going to be a cheap win, because Davis, on that sort of winning feature, he's just as bad. We're going to do a flash pinfall finish as well rather than a submission. Yeah, Davis, don't get it mistaken, he's like just as much of a scumbag as the architect is when it comes down to it. Right, where is the keep strong? There we go. We'll also keep, I don't really want to lose momentum on Papa Swole because we really need to try and build them up. One thing I am starting to notice, but I'm trying not to really think too much into it, is the popularity of our company is obviously rising as quick as it can, but I feel like the popularity of our fighters isn't. So sooner rather than later, we might need to sign another quote-unquote Hoover, like we did with Connor, but someone slightly better, and I have someone in mind to use. But before we do that, I don't want to have Connor and the new guy that I have in mind on the roster at the same time. I don't want to just keep bulking up our roster, or bloating it out, I should say. So we do need to start using Connor a bit more harshly when it comes to our booking. And then, speaking of that, someone I would like to give a bit more momentum and popularity to is Remy. There's definitely much lower popularity than Connor, so we're going to have Remy win this clean, not even open, just a clean win. We're essentially throwing Connor to the wolves now. Right, let me just fix this here. So you go there, you're in here. That'll get a pretty good rating with Remy in it too, which is nice. Let me have a look for local workers here too, because I'm trying to mix this up. We got Keith and Kip. Let's sign you up actually for tonight. Heel, sure, doesn't it? It won't really matter, because I think we'll actually do a triple threat opener with Kip in there. We'll do Max Mayhem maybe. Well, Marco's fine now. We could do Marco. And we'll go, I'm thinking Mutant, to be honest. Yeah, Mutant. It's going to be Mutant. We'll go 12 minutes, and we'll do Mutant to pick up the win over Kip. Similar to the Remy match, we're just trying to get more momentum on him, and that can probably open us up here. Now we'll do our sort of our monthly tag match too. We will do the historian. We'll actually do Blue Dragon and the historian against Max and Dr. Funkenstein. Yep. And we'll actually, I'm going to have Blue Dragon can take the win over over Max. It's going to be an open match though, but it will be a clean win for the heels. And I think this time around we'll actually do. I'm thinking no, we'll do the triple threat as the opener after the Architect essentially announces he's just leaving for the night. Then we'll do our triple threat. And then before the tag match, I'm actually going to have the Doc. We've not seen him on the mic in a little bit. Cutting a promo, essentially cutting a promo in the ring just before his match starts. And we'll just do yeah, we'll just go with this for now. Yep, add that, cutting promo in the ring. Nothing crazy, as he does. Just trying to get some momentum on him. And then we're also going to do you know what we'll do? Actually, we'll do Dr. F's promo. We'll do it backstage as an interview instead. Yep. And in that way, we'll get the bonus for doing unique, like 3 unique angles, because what we'll actually do too is we're going to do a brawl in the ring between Davis and Papa Swole right before their match starts. They essentially come out before they the bell rings. They're basically going at it for a couple of minutes before the ref can get a hold of the situation. Yep, that looks good. We'll do it 3 minutes in the ring. Probably won't get a very good rating, but should overall give us a decent boost to our show. We're not using Jules, but he's pleased, more momentum, so it's not going to be that big a hit if he's really annoyed or whatever at being left off the show, which isn't very often he's ever left off. I don't actually think he missed a show last year, so I mean, I'm sure he'll get over it, but this is looking pretty decent. We've got the 3 angles, which I'm going to try a lot harder at getting all 3 done. We really need to try and mess around with the angles too, and just do stuff a bit different, just to see, because I've not really potentially messed around with it to just get an idea of how good they can be. For example, in the last edition of the game, you could do like a menace angle to get like a cheap rating, like a cheap high rating. So I just need to get my bearings with it a bit more. But Kickoff Carnage 16 begins with, of course, the champ, the Architect. He comes out, gets the crowd hot, gets the show off to a strong start, and he basically, he announces he's not going to be fighting tonight. He's really tired. You know, the match, he's still feeling the effects of last month's match against the brave and almighty Blue Dragon, as he puts it. And he just, he needs a little vacation. He thinks he's going to go away with his belt. And the show can just carry on, do what you want, and he'll just be back. I'll be back when I'm ready, essentially. 44 rating. Oh, 122 people too. That's huge. That's a huge bump up. I think 103 was our highest before, so that'll be good for our tickets. But good start from the champ. Moving into a triple threat with Mutant picking up the win over Marco Gonzalez and Kip Condit. It's a great wrestling match with decent reaction from the crowd. Mutant defeats both men when he pins Kip Condit with a Tina Turner. He's also the standout guy here. In ring wise, Kip gets a 41, which is pretty solid. Marco seemed off his game, so he hits us with a 38. Hot move, of course, from Mutant. The match gets the crowd hotter. We can't really complain here. It does the job that we want, and it's a good win for Mutant to, I would say, to give him more momentum. But we've tried to change his morale so much by giving him character ideas that his momentum can't get any better. So we'll reap the rewards, I guess, of those bonuses while we can. So 45, pretty solid. Going into Dr. Funk's interview backstage, only gets a 36, which, I mean, that his current position is pretty solid, but he can definitely do much better. He is very good on performance. He's just very green, so and with such a small like roster I have right now to work with, obviously it's kind of hard to let your creative freedom run wild. You know, it's a bit restricted, but it's fine. 36 is still very good. Going into his tag match, and about that had good wrestling and decent reaction. It's Blue Dragon and Historian who pick up the win when Blue Dragon pins Max Mayhem with a Dragon Driver. This is actually not too bad. A 43, I'll take it, considering we have Doctor and Blue Dragon on here. The Historian gets a 43. Max Mayhem keeps a hold of 40. And then a 232s for Blue Dragon and Doctor. I feel like right now anything over a 40 is like really good. So the fact Max actually got that too, it's really solid. Some penalised here for inconsistency, low morale, poor momentum, which to be expected, but 43 rating for the sort of throwaway tag match is really good. Then we have our essentially co-main event here. It builds us up to a 46, which is pretty solid, and it's Remy Honeyman defeating Connor Threepwood clean with a flying leg drop. We're trying to obviously suck all the pop we can now out of Connor, which will probably be 1 or 2, maybe 3 more shows, depending on how big of a bonus he can hand off to the guys he's losing to, and then I think we'll let him go and bring in someone else to do a very similar job to what he's done for us. But yeah, it does the job. 46. Our main event should definitely be the best show of the night. It's a bit of a pain. Well, not a pain, but it was a bit of a worry with not having our champ. But with our really hot storyline, and obviously we have Davis who can really put on a show, we should be guaranteed good stuff here with a creative finish as well. Oh my god. I forgot for a second. I had this on, and I instantly looked at segment rating before looking at anything else, and I thought our main event got 38. I almost had a heart attack. The Founding Father storyline advances here, but is lost to, and it's essentially Davis Wayne and Papa Swole get in the ring, but before the bell rings for the match to start, they just go at it. They just start going crazy, because obviously, as much as they've teamed up in the past to try and alter the odds against Hangman and Mitchell, back when of course they were teaming and it was all 4 of them, don't get it mistaken, these 2 guys do not like each other at all. And they shared the spotlight here for our main event, which is a 59. Oh wow, our first wrestler to break the barrier of a 60 plus in-ring performance, with Davis getting a 62. The success as well on our creative finish. Papa Swole hits a 47, so he's just reaching up almost into the 50s for him, which is good. Not much to get getting penalised on inconsistency for Papa Swole, but yeah, this is good. This is a good finish to the show too. Davis Wayne wins. Sorry, by a flash roll up. I'm sure I made this a cheap one, but it doesn't state that it's a cheap one. But I guess it's the bonuses of winning by a flash roll up. If it's similar to the other game, I believe it should be penalised slightly. So Papa Swole hopefully won't lose much pop, if any, since of course, like I mentioned, we're going to try book him fairly strong. 54 overall rating. The show benefited, of course, having quite a wide selection of angles, which we're going to try and keep that whenever we can going forward, or just to try and remember. Right, we'll actually give this to a Blue Dragon, I think we'll do. And we'll also give it to I'm thinking maybe Max. Yeah, good example. Blue Dragon was happy, both pleased. So 800 on workers, because of course we still don't have Hangman, which helps. 610 on ticket sales, so we're almost at the point where our ticket sales are slowly creeping up to match the amount we pay out on workers, which is pretty huge. That was a huge bump up though in attendance. I don't know what's happened there. I'm not going to judge it because, take it while we can, as we also move up from 11 to 12 here, which is solid start to the episode, I would say. Pretty solid show considering Architect just got up and left. We'll see where that continues from. But I shall... Oh, what news have we got here? We'll check this real quick. Oh, your personal relationship with Blue Dragon has improved, going from none to mutual respect. And Blue Dragon... this is the first opinion I've actually got, Dr. Funkenstein. I like what Blue Dragon is doing in the ring. He's only going to get better with time. In fact, yeah, let me show you real quick, because I mentioned all of Blue Dragon's touring in Japan he's been doing, which is like almost constantly since the game began. He's actually looking really good. His psychology's up to 72. Apart from his selling, he's like solid fundamentally in the ring. And you have to remember he's 24. The guy is 24 years old with 72 psychology, which is wild. Looking at his progress as well, like, yeah, like from the last year, his like aerial and flash units have both went up by 4. He's went up 6 on brawling. Like, yeah, he's went up a lot on everything. He's went up 8 points hardcore, which I mean that's useless to us, but yeah, he's improving a lot. His psychology is going up 7 points too, which is huge. Like, he's really, really 100% he'll get signed. My money, honestly, when it comes to our workers getting poached for good, like not just another company coming in with a handshake deal, like I'm talking getting poached and never to return. I wouldn't be surprised if Blue Dragon's the first one to go. But yeah, very good stuff. We'll definitely try book him a little bit stronger this year, I think, since he really isn't bad. Like, he's not a bad worker at all. Very cold momentum will be hard to come back from though, but we have gotten pleased, so that's the main thing right now. Anyway, enough chatting. I'll see you guys for the April show. Alright, we got some unfortunate news, I guess you could say, which I'm surprised it took this long to get something like this to happen, but while working for GSW, Papa Swole has broke his arm. Now, this isn't, I mean, it's obviously not great, but he's only going to miss, like, when is he back? June? Yeah, so he can work angles, which we won't. We'll just save the $30 from using him. But yeah, 2 months it'll be. 2 months worth of events, and then our June show, which we run on the last Saturday of the month, he'll be back for. Just a bit of annoying that he's out. It's another guy down, I guess. We need to remember actually to keep him off the show now. We'll give him the night off because he'll probably still be here to... No, he's not. That's weird that he's not, because we can essentially still use him. You may permit any number of working on your roster to have a night off. This likely will not affect the locker room. Will be unavailable for you to use tonight, and may choose to work for other companies who also have shows. Right, so it says I can still use Papa Swole and angles, so should he not be here? Oh, my alarm is going off. Okay, yeah, I don't know what that was about with the whole Papa Swole thing. I feel like he should be here if we can still use him on angles. But anyway, we're giving, of course, the night off to Hangman, and I definitely... Hold on. Is this like... Okay, I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to be using Papa Swole, so Hangman's already off the list anyway. 123 fans are expected, which hopefully we get that, because our finances are starting to look on the positive. Okay, creative energy. We want another creative finish for our main event. Surefire hit, perfect. Character ID, let's try get 2 more of these. Safe bet, beautiful. 1 more. Surefire, oh, beautiful. That is what we love to see. Apparently the historian and Marco Gonzalez have bonded recently, but that's about time, since Marco, for the last 2 shows, has been a bit of a pain in my ass, so that's good. Apparently, the pair of Marco Gonzalez and the historian have been hanging out a lot recently, so that's okay, hand in hand with the last message. Okay, that's all for that. Team bonding, let's try one. It's been a while since I've done one, so let's see if anything gets strained here. Nope, it's all strengthened, which is good. So that's another good positive, which I will take. Right, character ideas. Let's see who essentially could use with who could be at service of top of the line to use one of these. Now, mutant, of course. Oh, hold on. Of course. So the mutant just over a year ago, on the 23rd of April, was annoyed. So essentially, if you call someone out and it fails, the morale effects of it will be in place for a year. Because of course, mutant is now pleased. So that's like amazing now. We only actually have we have no one, I think, that's not happy. Essentially, there's some people with not very good momentum, or what? But okay, this is really good. So that means I'm actually going to give this to Remy, even though he's very warm. I want his momentum up even more. Let's give him the safe bet. Yep, success. He's up to hot, and then we're also going to give it to Blue Dragon. Oh, it can only be applied to the Architect. Jesus Christ, he does not need it at all. But okay, I mean, I don't know. How long is it active for? Till August? Nah, we might as well just give it to him. I mean, it's probably not going to change. That's a bit annoying. Anyway, at least none of them failed, I guess. And we're going to start off the show again with the Architect. He comes out tonight, cutting a promo. The Architect intro. And he comes out as well and announces main event, which tonight he's been informed by the GM backstage because of his bad behaviour, which he kind of rolls his eyes and doesn't really seem too bothered by it, I guess. He's been told he'll be up against two of the company's most informed guys this year, which is Remy Honeyman and Mutant, in a triple threat match for the title. So Angle live in ring, cutting a promo. Architect starts off the show. Then we're going to go into booking. This should get a fairly decent rating too, and we also have our creative finish we can use on this. Essentially, this would make sense too. All these guys are like major stars for the company. They all have good pop, so it's not necessarily like it's not as weird as Blue Dragon essentially fighting. Where is? Oh, he's there. That Architect. Okay, boom. We'll give this 15 minutes. Title on the line. Architect will get the win. Pin on Mutant. It's going to actually be an open match, and it's going to be clean though. A very rare clean win for the Architect. But of course, he's up to no good. So it's essentially probably, if we had to envision it in our head, maybe Mutant hits his Tina Turner finisher on Remy, and then one way or another, the Architect, sneaks in and does what he does best, which is being 2 steps ahead of everyone else, knowing what to do, when to do it, what to say, what not to say. So main event is sorted. I think we'll do our tag match this week. I want to have closer up the card because usually we add our more sort of less important, you could say, guys that we use. But I want to try do some new combinations here to try and get some good chemistry, just more for the future. So we'll actually do Davis and let's do Davis and Jules Knight against Connor and I don't really want to give it to Max Connor. We kind of also want a good rating though. It looks like it might have to be. In fact, we'll add the doc in there, why not? And we'll have Jules pick up the win over the doc. Give it an open match. Clean win. In fact, won't. We'll make Connor the loser, which hopefully will give an even better boost to Jules. That works. And then we'll also, I think we'll do... We'll do Max and Blue Dragon, the two worst guys on momentum. Blue Dragon. Clean win, not an open match though. And then the only other matchup we can really do, since I want to use everyone in the card, will be heel versus heel, and we'll give the win to the Historian, I think, here. Open match, tainted win we'll do. And we'll bounce that up there. Main event announcement, intro from the Architect. Let me quickly see if there's anyone I'm missing out on here that could be doing more talking on the mic. Not really. Now actually the mutant is feeling a bit better, I guess. Let's actually do another one with him. We'll do an interview, because of course he's in the main event, so it can be done in that sense. Basically getting questioned about how he feels about his title chances and stuff. Basically just hyping up the main event. We'll add that in and we'll put it right there. Now I do want to try and get one more angle in, just so we get the bonus. So let's have a look at what we could do. It would essentially have to be some kind of brawl though. Maybe we do... Yeah, let's do a brawl. And we'll do it with Davis and Jules fighting Dr. Funk and Connor. And we'll just do all out brawl. And this is essentially after their match. Maybe not 5 minutes though. Do 3. Yeah, after their match, they basically go into like an all out brawl. Essentially the fight continues. You expect to advance at least one storyline. I did not think about that, did I? We'll add to this then. He announces main event. This might give us the penalty we got last time about the main event, but we'll also do Davis appears. Warning. Architect. Basically telling him, even though you're not fighting me tonight or whatever, don't get too comfortable, because you know you may have had to cheat your way to winning against me to keep your belt, but best be assured, you know, I'm coming back, I'm coming for that, and there's nothing you can do essentially to stop me. You know, the triple threat, the man himself, Davis Wayne Newton. Okay, beautiful. Let's run the show. Last show of the episode, 122 people, so it's another solid turnout, which is really good ticket pricing for that. So we advance our segment, but Lost Team will probably get the penalty for this storyline, because we're not doing any matches with it, about a real lack of... I can't remember what the warning is, but it's basically like there's not enough high stakes or something. Both actually did really good here, considering this was not scripted. And of course, as always, with these two guys, you can always expect to get good stuff. These are the two sort of main guys on our roster, you could see right now. Angle got the crowd hot, show off to a strong start, 46 segment rating, beautiful. Going into our first match here, Blue Dragon was really off his game, so he only pulls in a 26, which isn't great. He does beat Max Mayhem in 10 minutes with a Dragon Driver. The match did get the crowd hotter though, 35 segment rating, still really good for our level, of course, but could have been better. Bit of a shame with Blue Dragon being off his game, but not a bad first match to the show. Then Mutant's interview backstage gets a 36, essentially getting interviewed about tonight's main event where he gets a title shot alongside Rennie Honeyman against the Architect. I'll take a 36. I think this was actually not scripted either. I didn't script any of the angles, so the Mutant getting a 36 isn't the worst, actually, considering his microphone skills aren't the best. They're good enough for our level, definitely, but anyway, 43 here. The Historian defeats Marco Gonzalez by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage, so slight cheating. The Historian gets a 44, which is really good, actually. He does not get penalised either. We do get penalised for the odd face and heel combination, but with that being loosely enforced, the penalties won't be too drastic, as you can see with this. Marco pulls in a 33, but pretty good actually from the Historian. 44 is pretty solid. 43 overall with that one. Going into our tag match, we get no chemistry notes here of negative or positive, which is a bit of a shame. We still don't have any. I think we have, of course, Papa Swole and Mutant are negative, but I don't think we've gotten any other negatives or positives, so that's a bit of a shame considering we do quite a lot of tag matches. But anyway, superb wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Davis, Wayne, Newton, and Jules Knight defeat Connor Threepwood and Dr. Funk in 11:59. Jules Knight gets the pin on Connor. Essentially, we're trying to kill Connor as Pop suck it all out of him. In terms of in-ring work, Davis Wayne Newton, surprise, surprise, was head and shoulders above everyone else, with Dr. Funkenstein the weak link, a 28 from Doctor in comparison to the 60 from Davis Wayne Newton, 41 from Connor and a 45 from Jules. So yeah, Davis basically carried the whole match to a 54 segment rating, which is really good. Then we move into essentially the match continues with a all-out brawl between the four guys, 31 rating. It's more just to add a bit of variety to our angles and get that bonus. And then we move into our title triple threat match main event, which gets a 63. Holy shit. It's better than I thought it would be. I thought it would do better than the tag team match, but yeah. Superb wrestling, good heat. The Architect defeats Remy Honeyman and Mutant when the Architect submits Remy Honeyman with a blueprint, making defense number 3 of his... Wait a minute. Defense number 3? Oh yeah, of course, Blue Dragon, then Davis, and now, yeah, so, wow, time is flying already. 63 segment rating though, we of course get success on our creative finish. Mutant benefits from his hot new move. He has a 49, he almost breaks a 50, Mutant, which is really good. It's kind of funny I mentioned about me possibly releasing him, because I'm not really impressed, and then ever since then, his morale issues have gone away. He's even doing like okay on his segments, on the angles, sorry. In this show and last show, his in-ring performances just seem to be getting better and better. So yeah, very solid. These three guys are really good. Well, we know Remy is like Jules Knight. They're very consistent, but they're good workers in that sense. But yeah, good main event here. Defense number 3 for the Architect, 63. The fans are disappointed that the storyline, of course, featured the show, but it didn't really have any dramatic stakes, which essentially is like a more important angle probably, or like more of a victory or loss for the workers. So 56 overall show rating is really good, so I'm not really going to grumble with that. We didn't really get let down with the matches we thought would do good, so I can't really complain. We're actually going to give this to the Historian. He surprised me, he did some good stuff, and we'll actually give it to Mutant. Not because he doesn't necessarily need it anymore, but he is doing good. I want to... we'll do good performance. Want to keep the praise going to maybe most of the guys that need it the most. Yeah, so our ticket sales on this show without Hangman and Papa Swole were only about 160 behind the worker costs. So we're doing pretty decent stuff here. We'll advance. Now we're at the end of the episode and have a quick look. Popularity goes up to 13, which is really good. Yeah, we'll advance to the end of April and have a quick peek at the finances, because they are slowly on the up. So I can't really complain. It's looking pretty sweet. So advance here to the end of the month. I don't think popularity will have changed too much. I did mention before, it seems like the popularity for our workers is going up quite slow compared to the popularity for our shows in our company. So once they start to even out, it's going to be a bit of a problem to make sure we have people who are regarded as major stars on our show. I'm not really that worried about it, but definitely need to keep an eye on it. Let me have a look at Ernest Youngman. I really want to bring him in. He's 180 now per show. I think at the beginning of the game he was like 60 or 90. So he is going up. If we brought him in, he would be 33. He would be like 10 popularity above our highest. It's really, with all his tours and stuff he's doing, I mean, I feel like if I want to use him, I'm going to have to bring him in like ASAP. Like he should already be here, because it's only a matter of time before one of the big companies sign him. I mean, look at this. These stats are disgusting. I feel like his performance stats are actually lower than 2020. Maybe not though. 85 technical. He's basically 90 plus on all his fundamentals. Yeah, he's a monster. The guy's a beast. Gotta love Ernest. Anyway, where were we? Finances. Yeah, so yeah, look at this. It's jumping up. Obviously, we last looked at these in February when it dropped a little bit from January, but on March, the first show of the episode, 680, and now it's up to 854. Huge jump up on ticket sales too, which is wild. Our sponsorship keeps going up by more or less about 100 each month. Yeah, so ticket sales at the minute is pretty much covering like the show costs, the marketing, and the production all grouped up as one. The ticket sales alone are covering that, and then of course, we got our merchandise and sponsors put together to cover the workers, which is more or less sitting around 1100. So as long as this sponsorship and stuff keeps going up, we don't really have anything to worry about. It's probably by the end of this year, easily. At this rate, our debt will be gone before we hit December of this year. Wrestling industry still rising above average. Economy is falling, which I think that would affect sponsorships, but it's been falling for a while, and our sponsorships are still going up by like 100 each show or each month. So maybe not. I could be wrong. We'll have a quick look at creative here. Mutant's still in third. Pappas Wolf's still first. The Champ is in here now at fourth. Hangman's in there still. Dr. Funk, Next Big Things. Hot Prospects is Blue Dragon and Marco. Talk the Talk, as expected. Oh, Marco's in Showstoppers. Bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting that. Makes sense though, I guess, actually. His fundamentals are very good. Who's actually not hot? Okay, only Max and Blue Dragon, which is, I'll take it considering we don't bring in a whole lot of local workers. We have our own guys fight each other pretty much every show. Oh yeah, Diva Arnold. He would be a good guy to bring in. He got released, didn't he? Yeah, by SWF. He's only 27, and his popularity is pretty much 40 in the Great Lakes. But we obviously need to make a bit more. We could in theory bring this guy in and still make a profit, but it's not worth it. Not right now. But he's definitely on the radar for someone to bring in for sure. Avalanche could be the same, but he's a little bit more money. He does have a bit more higher pop though. Something I am realizing is, after workers hit like 20-25 pop, if it's between there and anywhere of there and upwards, their value and price per show skyrockets. It goes up like triple time. It's kind of like the difference between someone who's 10 pop and 20 pop is literally maybe between like $100, whereas between like 30 pop and 40 pop, it jumps up like anywhere between like 3 and 600. Like it does start to jump up really quick. But these are guys we'll definitely look into maybe bringing in. There's also a guy I noticed, I think his name is Bash Street, and he got released from USPW, I'm sure, and he looks really good, and he's only like 26. You know, it's guys like that would be good to look into signing, even if it's just for the short term, or if we essentially use them as a hoover to just suck all the momentum out of them. Like this guy, you know, he's 32, he's maybe not this guy, he is obese, 6'9", he's got like no stamina, he's essentially mutant, And we don't want a Mutant 2.0. Hellion as well has left SWF. I recognise the name, but I can't quite put a. He's pretty good. He's 6'8" too. 38 popularity. He would cost us 500 per show. So there's definitely options for bringing these kind of guys in. But anyway, I'm doing a lot of blabbing on here. Let's just get into what we were supposed to do. Popularity. We'll check out Blue Dragon. Yeah, so Blue Dragon jumped up 3 last show. He beat Max Mayhem. He was stuck on 10 for a while there, like a long time. He didn't really drop. But he's up to 13. Connor's down a point. He went down on April's show and then stayed on the tag match loss in the last show. So 18, okay. Who else do we care? Davis Wayne Newton. He's up 1 after his win. Tag match win with Jules. Okay, 24, respectable. 14 for the Doc. Hangman sits still on 18. He'll be back pretty soon. Jules Knight, he's up to 15, I believe. Yep, after his pin. Marco up to 6. Max Mayhem, he stays around 12, which makes sense. Mutant's up to 17. He of course lost that title match, so makes sense he stayed there. Papa Swole's up to 22, that's good. He somehow went up on the month of May, even though we didn't use him. But it looks like he's went up. Must have been his being in GSW, I believe it's called. GSW, I think. Could be wrong, but that's good. 22 is really good. Remy's up to 19. Oh my god, he jumped up a lot. What did we do with the April show? Oh my god. Or the March, sorry. It would have been the March show. He jumped up 5 points. Oh yeah, of course. I think we had him beat Connor. Then he stayed on 19, so that's really good actually. That's can't complain there. And the Architect's still on 24 since March's time. Yeah. Which is fair. Historian's up to 16 now. He's slowly on the rise. Okay. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, I think. We need to definitely bring in another guy though soon, who is maybe like at least 5 or 10 popularity points above everyone else. Just so we can take, because if we bring in a guy like that, okay, this is my thinking, like we did with Connor. If we get someone, let's say, who's got 30 pop, and then we have people like maybe Mutant or Papa Swole or our champ even beat them, right? They all beat them clean once. It'll elevate all those guys in their promotion up to maybe the mid-20s, for example, and then when they start winning or even losing against other guys in their promotion, they're essentially like sharing the load of the popularity, which then bumps everyone up to the next level. It's just obviously a slow, patient process build up, but it should work. It should work as I have it intended in my head. But enough of that. Enough of me blabbing. I will cut the episode here, I think, and we will push on. We're making money. Popularity is still on the rise. We should hit tiny size fairly soon. A couple more shows. We'll probably have one more stalemate of not going up for 1 month. So probably, if we're lucky, maybe 5 more shows, hopefully. About 5 or 6 more shows should put us up to tiny. And then we'll have to take it from there. See how it goes. So, yep, I'll see you guys on the next episode. I hope you have a good day, and peace out.